Hello everybody, Teacher C here, and you clicked on this video because you want to know what is a print-rich home, what it is, why it's important, and how can you achieve it for your little watoto. All right, people, let's get to it because I don't like them long YouTube videos, okay? So boom, 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 let's get rocking. For all my Caribbean people who clicked on this video, have you ever heard this from your parents? Go read a book. Go read a book. They tell you go read a book when they're shushing you and they want you out the room and they want you to be quiet. But how many of us? I bet you didn't like it, right? Now, how many of us grew up, and how many of us are guilty of saying that to our own children? Be honest. Now I have a question. You're telling them to go read a book, right? But did you make that book appealing? Did you make that book something they would want to go read and explore? And you know what? I already know the answer. The answer is no. Because if you have to say, go read a book, if it's not something they go do on their own, if it's not something they want to do and they crave to do and they're excited to do, then guess what? This is an area you can improve on. Sorry to be so harsh, but it's the truth. Now, that's for all my 3, 4, 5-year-olds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old parents. For my parents who have your precious bouncing baby boy and your bouncing baby girl, and they are between day 1 and 12 months, I'm excited for you because you're at the beginning. You're at the starting line. So all this information you're going to get here in this video, you're good money. All right? Please put it to good use. All right? Let's get rocking and rolling. Step 1. What is a print-rich home? It's a home with a lot of print around it. Okay, I'm pretty sure you could have figured that one out on your own. All right, but what does that mean exactly, right? It means labels, labeling everything. The window should have a little label that says window. The stove should have a little label that says stove. The refrigerator, refrigerator. All the doors, door. Now, here's a question I get in my DM a lot, and here's a question I've definitely gotten as a teacher over these 17 years. Do I put a label on all the doors? Do I put a label on all the cabinets in the kitchen? Okay, let's answer the door question. Do you put a label on all doors in your home? The answer is yes. Yes. Do you put a label on all the cabinets in the kitchen? The answer is no. Let's break that down. You should put a label on all the doors in your environment. Yes, because they're going in and out through all the doors. Okay? And all the labels should be at eye level, right? Of them crawling, of them walking. It should be at their eye level. Okay? Now, as for the cabinets, I mean, no. Aesthetically, no. You're not going to want to see a label on each cabinet. Plus, I said put it on eye level, right? So they're not going to be pulling the glasses from the top cabinets. So you don't need to put a label up there. But you should put a label on the cabinets that are low, right, to the ground. So when you're cooking in the kitchen, and they're crawling in the kitchen and you're cooking, they can see cabinet. Right? And daddy, when you're there and you're frying the fish, they're right there and they're seeing that label refrigerator, right? On the bottom of the refrigerator, right at their eye level where they can see it. So a print-rich home is where you are labeling all of the things in the home so they can start learning that items, objects have names. And they can associate words with things. All right? And then you don't just make the label and leave it there. They need to be an active part of your day. So when they're going through the door, you narrate what they're doing, right? You narrate what you're seeing. You're walking through the door and you point to the word door. Open the door, please. And you point to the word door, right? Oh, excuse me. Mommy needs to get inside of the refrigerator when they're crawling in front of the refrigerator. And you make sure to point in front of that label. Excuse me. You point to the label that's on the fridge. Okay, that's step one, though. Step two of a print-rich home is a home that has lots of books. Lots of books, 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 books. What does that mean? Many of us know, oh, I should make a library in my child's room. And so we make a library in our child's room. But what about the rest of the home? Every room should have a small basket where that child has books that they have access to. Yes, so that means the living room. That means your bedroom. That means the bathroom. And in some cases, if you have space for it, the kitchen. And how does that work? Now, let me pause here and talk to all my people who care about aesthetics, because I care about aesthetics, okay? All right, I say this with all the ego in the world. My house is aesthetically pleasing, all right? I'm really into decor. So when I was younger and I would go in certain people's homes and their houses look like a classroom, you know, like that ugly Crayola box looking colors, and I'm just not into that. But the world has changed, guys. Decor right now, even in the classrooms. I mean, my classroom looks like a living room. You know, your home doesn't have to look like a classroom. Those of you who are listening to me now and you're getting a little cringy because you're like, ugh, do I have to make my house look like a classroom and with labels and books and baskets? Do I have to go get like the baskets in the classroom? Absolutely not. Let me show you guys my son's book bedtime basket, and we're going to talk more about what that means, right? This is a canvas bag, right? This is a canvas bag, and it flows with the decor of his room, right? I'm not into that classroom stuff, okay? So your home, your labels and your baskets and anything that you're doing for your child can fit into the decor of your home, all right? For example, these two things, my best friend. I found these green envelopes, right? These are green envelopes. This is what I use for my labels. I write whatever I need on here, right? Draw and cut it out, and then it's around. Why green? Because this is one of the principal colors in the decor of my home. And it's definitely one of the principal colors in the decor of my son's room. So I make sure that whatever I have to do to create this print-rich home flows in the decor of my home. So it's not jarring and ugly. Okay? So that's important. Now, that's the what it is, right? And then the how to achieve it, right? You just write the name of things and you put it there. Do I need to go buy anything? Do I need to go to the teacher's store and Target? And let me tell you something. This is where I will say what I do and you figure it out for yourself. I don't believe in buying those sort of things. I believe in making everything that I need, okay? I would like to turn this laptop around. And I would like to show you. This is a sight words chart. We're working on our sight words right now. So what he would do with this is go and find certain sight words and circle them. That's it. And I'll make it into a little game. I'll put the timer on. Or he'll grab his dinosaurs and I say, put all your dinosaurs on the word can. Find the word can and put your dinosaurs on the word can. Excuse me, that is just a piece of chart paper with some words on it. I'm not buying anything. I'm going to keep spinning. I'm going to keep spinning. You see those? That's a number line. Print rich is not just about words. Print rich, it talks about numbers as well, right? I just took some green cardboard paper, and I had Dad write out the numbers. Dad did it because I don't draw very well. I don't have a very even hand. And Dad just made a number line for us. We cut it out and glued it on his chest of drawers. That's it. Why should you care about creating a print-rich home? Do you want your child to be successful? I don't. I don't. You want your child to read, right? And you would like them to not have to struggle when learning how to read. Learning how to read is very complex. There is a lot of mechanical things that they will have to learn. Please, giving them a print-rich home from 0 to 4 will really give them a head start on all those mechanical parts of learning how to read. Because once you give them that love of reading, once they are in love with story, what? You can't stop. Listen, figuring out silent E, I before E, except after C, and all of that, that's not going to stress them out. They're going to actually take pleasure in learning the mechanics of reading because they love story, right? So whatever it takes for them to get closer and closer to story, you did your job. None of it is important if you don't do it too. You can set up the print-rich home. You could put labels all up and down your house. You can set up the most beautiful library. You can make the most exciting and inviting and cozy room. You can make sure there are books in the bathroom, in the toilet, in the bedroom, in the living room. You can do all of that right. And your child would probably never pick up a book. And I have gotten this, what am I doing wrong? And you know what my first question was? To the first parent, to the second parent, to the third parent. You know what my first question was? I've gotten this question 5 times. 5 parents. Do you read with your child? Do you read with your child? Yes, I read bedtime stories. Oh, okay. Do they see you reading? I cannot be what I do not see. I cannot be what I do not see. It is very rare that we have those unicorns who have achieved greatness that they did not see. Okay? Don't give your child an uphill climb. Step 1, you need to read with your child. From zero. Reading needs to be a family affair, and it needs to not be a chore. It needs to just be a part of your lives. It needs to be the exciting part of the day. It needs to be the bonding, the loving, the cuddling part of the day. Do they see you reading? Or do they only see you on the phone? Not judging here. I'm just asking questions. And you need to answer those questions honestly. Do they see you reading? They need to see you reading. So, let's talk practicality. What do? Get into their rooms. Do you notice that you probably don't get into their room unless it's like to dress them or do bedtime? Okay? But even if you do have something important to do and you're doing it on your laptop, I suggest that you consider going into their rooms, going into their library areas, sitting down in there and doing whatever you have to do, and that will encourage them to do whatever they have to do their work, right? So while, mommy's working, Daddy's working, so you should do some work too. And you grab a book and you say, you work on this while I work on this. Right? Now, you're achieving whatever work you have to achieve. You're ticking whatever boxes you need to tick off, for your job or your work. hmm And you're not palming your child off, right? You're not just dashing them. Go read that book. No, you're still doing that bonding thing, and you're still making the book important. So that's one practical way, right? Getting into their room, right? You're still doing what you got to do on your laptop or your phone, but you're speaking to them and you're being very clear and very deliberate about what you're doing. Mommy's working on her report for probably the next 30 minutes. All right? You know what? You want to do some work too? Here's this book. Can you look through this book and find all the color red? Can you look through this book and find all the birds? Okay? You give them a job to do while you're doing a job. Now, that's one way to finesse something when you have something to do. What if you have nothing to do? You just scroll on Instagram. Please, put your phone down, okay? Get into that room and grab a book and do some bonding with your child. Just read through the book. Or you grab a book, give them a book and say, Mommy's going to read this book by herself quietly and you read this book. And then I'm going to tell you about my book when I'm all done. And then I want you to tell me about your book when you're all done. You ready? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, you read your book quiet. Shh. I'm going to read my book. So that way you're making it into a game. And you're making the book important. And it's not sometimes, because then in that way you're teaching them that it's not always about mommy reading to you. You got to read by yourself. And then that kind of starts the curiosity of, I got to learn how to read these words. Because I want to do what mommy's doing. I want to read by myself. All right. You need to remember that a print-rich home is creating lots of labels, letting your child understand that things and objects have names. And then don't just label it and forget it. No, you need to point to those things every time they're using it, every time they're near it. You need to point and narrate their lives. Okay? After that, you need to know that it's not just about the labels on things, but books. Make sure that your home has a lot of books. All right, people, this is Teacher C. Love y'all. Bye. I'll try to edit this down.